Who doesn't love summer? Hey Bestie, I've got 15 summer DIY crafts just for you. Pieces were on their way to the Goodwill when I was able to get them for free from a friend. And I'm using the agave color of Waverly chalk paint to paint just the very top of them. And I'm going to use my little heat tool to dry them so I don't have to wait so long. Link in the description if you want one. And I'm going to use a chippy brush and my White Kills primer paint, and I'm going to kind of whitewash that, and then I'm going to make sure that the edges are nice and white because I got a little paint over on the sides by accident. Now I'm taking a nail file and I'm going to go around every hard edge around the outside. So basically there's the one at the top where the agave meets the white, there's the far edge where it would lay down, and then there's like a little middle ridge. And I'm also going to do the knob on there as well, just to make sure that it gets that kind of distressed look. I'm going to use my sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree just to go over the top where the agave and the whitewash were, just to smooth it out a little bit. And then I'm going to take this polyacrylic varnish by Minwax, and I'm going to go ahead and just cover the top, the sides, and the knob. I have these little napkin rings from the Dollar Tree, and it comes 6 in a pack, and I'm going to use 2 for each of these, we'll call them sconces, and I'm going to hot glue 2 together and kind of line up the seams on them so that it becomes a little bit longer. I'm going to do that for both of these, and then what I'm going to do is use that almost like a little flower vase. And I've got these flowers from Dollar Tree. I'm going to push the leaves up and then use my tin snips to go ahead and just cut off little pieces. I like it better when I can kind of decide the size of them, and I'm just going to arrange them. I have 2 different kinds, like a baby's breath and a little white flower, and I put them together. I'm going to make 2 little bouquets, one for each of those little vase things that I made. I have this really cute ribbon with kind of a swirly design on it, white and like almost like a gray, and I got that at Walmart. And I'm going to wrap it around the bottom of the bouquet, and then I'm going to also hot glue at the end when I'm all done. And I'm going to just do that too. I didn't want to use twine on this one because it's a little bit more modern farmhouse and it's got the silver, and I just thought this looked better. And then I'm going to take my tin snips when I'm done, and I'm going to snip the very ends of the little stems because they hang out just a little bit and I didn't want to see those. They are such a handy tool. I will also leave a link for those in my description box. Next, I'm going to put some hot glue on the side of the little vase, and I'm going to hot glue it right to the sconce. And then I'm going to take my flowers and I'm going to hot glue the very bottom to the inside of the little vase, and just make sure it's sticking nice, and add any hot glue where I might need it to secure that. And then I put a little under the flowers as well. I really loved how this turned out with the color and everything. I hope you guys like it too. Project. I'm using some book pages again, and I'm going to actually put it on a Cricut mat. And I went into Cricut Studio and I got some little butterfly shapes that would fit what I'm going to use them for. And I went ahead and I had them cut, and now I'm just leading them out. And I'm going to take them off the mat. And then what I'm going to do is bend them all in the middle. So it kind of looks like the wings are flying, like when a butterfly's wings are up against each other. And then I'm going to add these pieces of what would be trash to a really small little wreath I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue them on, but first I'm going to add some other things to the wreath. I have this really pretty flower pick that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to pull off some actual little flowers without the stems, and then some of those little green kind of berries. And then I found a couple different ribbons at Dollar Tree. One is a little thin polka dotted kind of a ribbon, and they're a little bit see-through, and then one is a pink, and they're just so pretty and light. And I didn't want to overpower the wreath with a lot of color because I want the butterflies to really be kind of the, I don't know, the focal point, if you will. So I'm just wrapping the ribbon around, hot gluing it kind of in a diagonal, and then I'm going to add the thinner one with the polka dots over the middle of the pink one, just to give it a little bit of a layered look. And I'm really liking the way that's turning out. This little piece of burlap left over from a DIY in my last video, and I didn't want to waste it, so I decided to use it to make a hanger. I just cross it around itself and hot glue it to the back, and then secure it with another little piece of that same burlap, and then I'm going to have a nice little hanger for my wreath. And as I said before, I'm going to take the little flowers and some of those little green berries and just kind of randomly put them around the wreath. I don't want to go crazy. I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but just, intermittently with space between them all, I'm going to add them to the wreath just to give it some color and make it a little spring-like. I'm going to hot glue the little butterflies in various places. I want it to look like they just kind of landed wherever on the wreath. And I absolutely love them. I think with the words on them, it's just the sweetest thing. It's making me want to do more DIYs with book pages. I just think it's such a sweet touch. And I don't know, let me know what you think. I just love this. I've never done anything like this before, and I'm so happy with how it's turning out. My only regret is that I didn't make them bigger. Mason jar, some faux leather florals that I got from Dollar Tree and Target, and then I've got those pop-up stickers you can see in the background too. Right now I'm going to use my square, and I'm going to cut a strip of the faux leather. I already cut out a piece to begin with, but now I'm just going to cut one that's just about the right width for what I'd like to see on my mason jar. And I'm going to cut that out after I've drawn the line on the back side, so you'll never see it again. And I do a lot of trimming to get this just right. I don't put it all on camera because, who wants to watch me trim? Now I'm going to take out these little pop-up stickers. I love these things because with my metallic silver paint from Folklore, you can actually make them look like little rivets. Now I'm going to paint them with my plaster colored chalk paint first because that'll make it easier for the silver to stick. And I don't know why I only painted 2 to begin with. I actually need 4 of these, so I do go back and paint 2 more. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I've got these 2 little boards that I got out of a little shelf from the Target dollar spot, and I used the shelf for something else, and I just kept those 2 little shelf pieces, and I decided that they would be great for this project. So what I'm going to do is put them together with some hot glue, and then it'll look like planks that way. And it was already painted white, and it's already a little distressed, so I don't actually have to do anything else to that, which was really, really nice. Because, hey, when you get that and you use it as extra pieces from a different DIY, it's like bonus and it's almost like free. Now I'm going to take my little mason jar and I'm going to put a boatload of hot glue on there. And I'm just going to stick it right on the planks. And it actually stays really well, but I'm going to also use my faux leather, and I'm going to glue that down on either side, and then I'm going to cut off the edges so it looks like it's just kind of wrapped around it. And it's just one more little form of security. I'm going to tuck a little hot glue under little parts of the faux leather too to just kind of stick it to the jar as well, and you can see me doing that right here. And I'm already loving the way this is looking. It's very fresh, and with the white, I just really like it. I like some of the darker distress stuff too, but sometimes it's just nice to see something a little brighter. Now I'm going to trim the edges and then tack them down with some more hot glue. Now I'm going to take those little pop-up stickers that I painted, and I'm going to put 2 on each side towards the corners of the faux leather. So it looks like little tacks or rivets holding down the faux leather. Just kind of brings that look up a little higher and makes it look a little more finished and expensive. And I love the way that looks. After trimming the faux leather, I had another piece left, and I decided to trim that even narrower and make a faux hanger. We're into faux here today. I don't think it's going to be strong enough to hold this up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it real thin. I'm going to attach it to each sides and then up and over the top, and then I'll make another little rivet on each side, and that'll be like a faux hanger. On the back, I'll actually put a little bit of jute twine for a real hanger and secure that with tons of hot glue and some masking tape across it as well. And I just think this will give it such a cute look, but at the same time, I'll have a practical way to hang it without, you know, breaking anything. And I'm going to actually use 2 of the smaller pop-up stickers to make the little rivets or tacks for the side there for that top faux hanger. It'll just look like it's attached then by something a little bit more sturdy. And then I'm going to take the greenery that I got and I'm going to trim it down to size. And I'm actually going to position it and use some hot glue to attach it to the inside of the mason jar. That way I can get it exactly where I want it. I'm not looking to like fill the whole thing up. I actually want it to kind of lean up against those little planks. I think that's going to look really cute. And then I'm going to add the little, I think those are tulips. I'm not sure. They look like mini tulips. I don't know what they are. Anyway, it's so pretty. And I'm just going to do the same thing there. And I'm also going to tack down the leaves a little bit so they lay the way I want them to look. And instead of kind of bunched together, I like it to look a little more spread out. I can just add a drop of hot glue. You won't even see it. And that way it'll just look really, really nice. Now, if you decide to make this, you could use any florals that you want that fit your decor. You could change them out for different seasons. This metal flower for $4, and it's really cute just the way it is. I love the colors, but I wanted to do something a little more to it. So I'm going to start off with my Waverly paint called Ocean. It's the deepest blue that I have, and I'm going to start doing the innermost part of each petal, but on the middle pieces I'm going to do the whole thing because they're so teeny tiny. And you'll see here, I'm going to go real fast so I won't bore you, although this is kind of fun painting to watch, at least for me anyway. But you'll notice I'm doing the inner part of each petal going all the way around till I reach those outer petals. Then I'm going to grab some more chalk paint in the color Peacock. Gosh, I love this color so much. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to start where I left off and push out more on each petal, like kind of going halfway almost. And I'm not trying to be perfect. It's a little messy because it's really kind of a blending technique that I'm trying to do here. And I think this is so fun because I'm loving these colors together. They're so vibrant and bright. And so you can do this 2 ways. And you'll see as we move on where you could stop if you liked it one way and I went on because I like it a different way. Now I'm going to take agave, which is one of my favorite colors that Waverly has, and I'm going to put that all the way out to the edge of each petal, all the way around every single one of them. Now you can make your flower any color combination you want. I just tried to use kind of the blues to give it that peacock look, but this would be gorgeous with yellows and oranges and reds, or any other combination. You could do whatever you like, whatever fits your yard area, or just the colors that you prefer. I love vibrant colors in the summer outside. It makes me happy. So that's what I like to see when I'm outside. As I mentioned earlier, once I finished these petals and these colors, you could literally stop right here and it would be super bright and vibrant. Now, I wanted to give it a little bit of sparkle, just a little, more. So now I'm going to go back to the ocean color and I'm going to dry brush it all over. That blends everything perfectly. It's very subtle and it just ties it together. And I'm going to take the metallic gold from Folk Art and I'm going to take that and I'm going to dry brush around the edges of each of the flower petals. I love the plaid products. They do the Waverly and the Folklore, and when I get in towards the smaller petals, I realize it's going to bleed everywhere. So I'm going to get out one of my Arteza paint markers in the color gold so I can be very specific on the edges of the smaller flowers, and I love the way it looks. I think I even go all the way to the ends with it. Imagine how that's going to pick up the sunlight. It's almost iridescent. It's going to look so beautiful. I mean, it could look great inside or outside. I am loving the way this looks right now, but I felt like I needed to give it a teeny bit more depth. So I'm going to, first of all, take the ocean blue and get those outer wire petals and just give them, instead of that plain green that it was, I just painted them in blue. And now I'm going to take my ink, which is black from Waverly, and I'm going to put it just very lightly all over like a dry brush coming from the center of each petal. Again, adding just a little bit of dimension as if there were shadows in there because they're kind of folded up a little bit, and I love it. And I'm going to do the same thing to the outside. I'm just going to kind of touch it up with the black around the edges, and again, give it that iron look, which it's metal, but I wanted it to look almost like iron, and I love it. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I hope you guys like it. Four of those little terracotta pots. They're 4 inches and I got them at Walmart. I actually had 3 at the moment, so my husband is running out to get me a 4th one. Some succulents, a little plant hanger, and the little coconut basket thing, I don't know what that's called, that you put inside the plant hanger. And those items are all from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the chain because I'm not going to be hanging this. And I'm literally going to put it over the top, like upside down basically. And I'm going to use some rope. I'm going to stab some holes around the outside where each of the little wires are. And I'm going to tie it on because I want to make it nice and secure. I didn't have like a really big needle and thread, so what I did was I just took the little scissors and I kind of pinched the end of the jute twine on that and I fed it through. So I was just careful not to cut it when I did that, and it worked really well actually. Now you may not know what I'm making yet. Of course, I haven't told you either, but I'm using these little styrofoam balls that I got, I want to say at Walmart. They were like 6 for less than $2. I'm pretty sure it was Walmart. Anyway, I'm using my utility blade and I'm cutting it because I need to make a head and a tail. Yes, if you've guessed right, it's going to be a turtle topiary. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so cute. So I'm just kind of figuring out what a turtle head would look like shape-wise. So I've got a little neck coming out and I'm hot gluing that on. And then I'm going to use some twine and using that wire on the plant holder thing, I'm just going to kind of secure it around because I'm not sure if the hot glue is really going to work enough, so I just want to make sure. So I'm also going to put hot glue under every little piece of that twine just to be extra careful. And then I'm going to get that other ball and I'm going to cut it and kind of make it look like a turtle head. Don't ask me what a turtle head's supposed to look like because I'm just guessing. Anyway, it kind of does look like one when I'm done. And I'm going to tie that one on as well with the jute twine, hot glue it, and then I'm going to work my way around to the tail and cut a narrower piece of the foam and do the same exact thing. I have some Spanish moss, a really large bag that I got at Walmart, and some tacky glue that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that and just brush it all on the styrofoam head and tail and attach the Spanish moss. I'm also going to use some fabric adhesive spray to help the moss stay down, because the tacky glue is only working directly on the styrofoam, but when I wanted to add more on top, I needed to do something extra. Now, I really wanted it to be a bright green, but I didn't have that kind of moss. So I'm going to go ahead and use the moss I have, and then I'm going to take some Waverly's color Fern, and I'm going to turn it into green. See, you do what you can with what you have. And actually, it does turn out really good. So you just have to, it's a mess. That's the only thing. Using a small brush, and I'm just kind of like splattering it everywhere. And when I say that, I mean literally, it started getting on all kinds of things. If you notice, all of a sudden my paper got dirty, everything. Now I'm going to build up the inside because I need a place to put the feet, which those little terracotta pots are. So by this time, my husband has gotten back with the extra one, and he got it at Walmart, but it was just shy of 4 inches. So I had to put something on it to try to make up for the difference. That was a little challenging, but we made it work. It just looks like the little turtle's walking now, like he's got one leg up, like he's taking a step. And I'm using some shipping filler, like that was in a box, that was surrounding equipment, and I just cut it to fit inside. And I'm using a lot of hot glue to secure it. But for the legs, I'm going to use a combination of E6000 and hot glue, making sure they don't touch each other, because I heard if you let the hot glue touch the E6000, it starts cooling off the hot glue too fast. So that's why I don't. And I'm holding it down, gluing it in place, and I'm actually going to do that with all 4 of the pots. And on the one that was slightly short, I'm putting some of the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. Once the legs are on, I am poking holes through the top using a screwdriver, and I am attaching the succulent. And I think the turtle turned out really cute. You'll have to let me know what you think. I've never made anything like this. He's just adorable. Planter at the Dollar Tree, and it's a little bright and shiny, so I'm going to use my Kills Primer paint in white, and I'm going to cover the whole thing, not a heavy coat because I am going to distress it, and I'm going to do a little bit of the inside too. And then I'm going to take my elephant paint from Waverly, and I'm going to distress it with a dry brush, where you put a little bit on the brush, wipe most of it off, and then drag it across your piece. And I'm mostly trying to get the seams and the edges and over the letters so that you can read them really well. And I'm just loving the look that this is giving, and I think it's such a like antique kind of a look, and that's one of the things I really like about doing this. I wanted to add a couple of little flowers on the front of it. I just thought that would be really cute. Go over to my little planter, and I'm going to set them on there, and it really looks great because the color, the silver smart vinyl, really matches. And now it's time to style my little planter with some flowers. I put some floral foam in there, and I filled the sides with some other styrofoam that I had, and I'm just cutting a bunch of different flowers from the Dollar Tree. These are so cute. They're pink, white with a little yellow in the center, and then I have some more little pink, white, and yellow ones with branches, and then I'm going to use these bright yellow flowers because I wanted to tie it all together, and I think it's just so cheery and fun, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm going to add some fern to the back just to kind of frame it and give it a little height. And then I'm going to add some more leaves to the front that I also got at Dollar Tree, and I absolutely love how this turned out. I hope you guys like it. It was super fun to make and very easy and fast. Planter at the Dollar Tree along with these lace doilies, and then this is some spackle, and I think I got that at the hardware store because I needed a larger amount. And I'm going to take the spackle, I'm going to dish it into a little bowl, and I'm going to add some water and mix it up to kind of like a cake frosting consistency. I guess that's the best way to describe it. You have to be careful though, because if you let it sit for too long, it gets hard, and then you have to add more water. And I kind of had to play with it because I had let it sit maybe a little too long while I was preparing the little planter. The technique I'm going to use on this today, I learned watching TikTok. It was really a cool thing. So I'm going to take my sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to sand every part of the outside, and then about maybe a couple inches into the inside as well. And if you've noticed, I have holes in the bottom. I had used this little planter last year for a real plant. And now I'm going to take my Kills white primer, and I'm going to paint everywhere that I sanded because I needed something for the paint to stick to, and that shiny plastic is not great for that. So it's sticking really well with this, and this is kind of my base coat. So when I first started out, I thought, oh, I better tape down the doily. No, not even necessary. So I went to all this trouble, applied the Spackle mix, and I guess because it was sitting so firmly on there, it ended up ripping the doily. So then I had to do some touch-up work. So going forward, you'll notice I don't bother taping it down. I just lay it where I want it, rub the Spackle stuff over it using a brush, and when I take it off, I get this really cool texture, which you haven't seen yet because I'm having to peel that off. There it is. How cool is that? It looks like pottery. So now look at that. I'm just holding the thing down and painting on the Spackle. And then in a second, I'm just going to lift it up, and it works so much faster. And I must have spent 10 minutes taping that stuff down. So if you decide to try this, don't bother taping. It works so much better if you don't. So now all I'm doing is just cutting out the paper doily and putting it wherever I want and just creating little like random shapes and designs. And just having fun with it, and it's really cool. And now I'm going to take that same green paint that I used earlier and a little bit of this warm buff by Apple Barrel. So first I'm going to paint all around that Spackle technique thing with that green, and then I'm going to go back with the other color over just the raised parts. Now, a few of you have asked me about these brushes that I use, and it's called DIY Arts, A-R-T-Z, and I got them from my daughter as a Christmas present, but I know where she got them. They are awesome. There's blending, and there's pointy, there's all different kinds, and this one is real pointy, so it's easy for me to get in there without knocking off those little pieces of Spackle that I put on there. Now I'm going to mix a little bit of the Burnt Umber and the Warm Buff by Apple Barrel to create a distress look, and I'm going to a little more than dry brush. And the reason I'm not too worried about it is that I could go back over it with the green. It did get a little heavy-handed, but I wasn't sure how it was going to look until I did it, so I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to use my rose gold metallic paint by Folklore, and I'm just going to go in on those raised pieces. I want to give it that little bit of shine, and I think that rose gold color goes the best with what I'm doing here, and I'm loving it. I really do, and I think when it's outside and the sun hits, it's going to be really pretty. I'm really loving how this technique turned out in the end, and I wasn't sure. Took it outside, sprayed a clear glaze, and it's done. Had a little burlap flower in the middle, which I didn't think was going to be great for outside, so I just popped it right off. It came off super easily. Now I decided I wanted to make a kind of a whimsical butterfly that had all different random colors on it. So I started with Peacock, and then I put some crimson on there. These are Waverly chalk paint colors, and at some point I'm going to add maize, which is like a yellow, and I'm literally just randomly placing it all around the different parts of the butterfly. No rhyme or reason, just trying not to put them all right next to each other with the same color. Now the maize color didn't cover quite as well, so I did a second coat of that one because I wanted the yellow to be a little bit brighter. was really having fun with this, just, you know, putting the colors wherever I wanted and just kind of relaxing. It was really enjoyable to do this. Painting is very relaxing. And now I'm going to take some of the metallic gold by Folklore, and I want to get some shimmer on here because remember, it's going to be outside and it really will pick up that light. So now I'm doing the gold in a bunch of different places. This did take several coats because again, it's a little thinner, and so it took me probably 3 coats wherever I put the gold to get that to really cover the original color on this butterfly. As I was painting, I realized I really didn't like the red as much as I originally thought, so I took out my ocean color, which is a very beautiful blue, and I decided to cover every area where there was red, and now I really think the colors go together better. It matches a little better with the other piece that I have for outside, and I'm really loving this look here. I'll use my heat tool to make sure that the entire thing is dry before I move on to the next step. And of course, all my tools are in my Amazon store linked below. And now I'm going to take just a black marker and I'm going to do the little body. I decided that it needed a little more definition. So I'm just going to cover that part in the black, and I love the way that looks. And I'm going to dry that off too. The next thing I'm going to do is take my agave color and I'm going to just add a little bit of that in different places. I felt like I needed another shade of blue in there, and I just absolutely love it. I didn't want there to be too much of any one color, and this really takes care of that for me. And then I did little touch-ups here and there. And now I'm going to take my gold again, the metallic gold from Folklore, and I'm going to put it on a little chippy brush and dry brush it, putting a very small amount on my brush, wiping most of it off, and then dragging it across. You guys, I love this one. It looks so beautiful outside. I can't wait for you to see it. Take this tin planter that I got at the Goodwill for $3. You find these every time you go. I'm going to use my crud cutter and clean it up real good, and then my heat tool to get off the price tag, and then also I need to use some rubbing alcohol to get off the other price. I'm going to use some painter's tape and diagonally tape from one corner to the other, and I'm going to do 2 coats of my white Rust-Oleum linen, or white chalk paint. I always say that wrong. Anyway, and then when I'm near the tape, I'm going to paint away from it, so not towards it, but from the tape across. That way I won't have any bleeding. And then I'm going to dry each section off after each coat, and then I'm going to do it to the next corner. And this one, they'll be like touching, the 2 sides will be touching, and then when I do the other 2 sides, they will be touching. So it'll be kind of like, I don't know, kind of opposing corners, if you will. See, there you go. Now the most satisfying part of all, we are going to pull the tape off. And I was very happy with my lines. I feel like they came out really, really good. So that worked out great. I really didn't end up doing any touch-up. I mean, there's a little drop there, but I ended up not even bothering with it because it wasn't noticeable. So now that I have these nice crisp lines and my planter is painted just the way I want, I'm going to take my Dollar Tree rub-on transfers, these gorgeous little green ones with the leaves, and I had 2 of each kind that were big like that, so I just cut them up and I'm just going to position them. I'm going to rub them on and check and then carefully pull them off. I did speed this up a little so you don't have to watch me scrape every single one, but I want you to see how the process goes. So here's the next side, and I kind of alternate between the 2 kind of leaves that I cut out. And look at that, it's so pretty, so simple. I didn't need to overdo it. And there's my other 2 corners that are right next to each other, and I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 different pieces again. And I'm just using a little wooden stick this time. It had a better point on it, so I thought it was going to maybe go a little bit faster, and it did. And then I'm going to put some styrofoam that I cut up. It was just from packing, a packing box. And then I'm going to put 3 gorgeous peonies, and I think I got this little bouquet of different flowers at Hobby Lobby on sale. And it also had these really pretty purple flowers with the little green buds, and I'm going to put those in the 4 corners, and then I'm going to use my eucalyptus as filler and a couple other leaves I just had in my stash. So I've learned that you want a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. So the peonies were my thriller, the purple flowers with the long branches were my spiller, and the eucalyptus was my filler, and it just turned out gorgeous. I gotta tell you, this is my favorite flower arrangement that I've ever done, and I absolutely love it. The colors are so vibrant. This was so easy to make. I mean, I thought I was gonna have to put moss in there to cover the white styrofoam. With all the filler, I didn't have to. So let me know what you think about this one. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Take this little, I don't know, tin piece that I got for $3 at a thrift store. I've got these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree, and this was left over from a sale item from Hobby Lobby. Got my Rust-Oleum chalked white linen paint and my Lagoon Waverly chalk paint. I'm going to remove the hanger that came with it. I'm going to use my crud cutter and clean it off because, you know, thrift store. I'm going to use the Lagoon paint. I'm going to paint the entire thing front and back. It doesn't have to be a super solid coat because we're going to do a little distressing. I'm going to take this makeup brush, and they're really good for this, for kind of like a dry brush. Just put a little on your brush, wipe most of it off, and drag it across. And there you go. I've done that just to the front. And now I'm just going to see how I might position this little orange. And I take my little snips and cut out those two pieces of wire that were sticking out. Those were attached to the original piece. Now I'm going to cut around the part that says Hello Summer with the two flowers and see what the whole thing will look like before I get started. Now these gold foil rub-on transfers take forever and they're not easy, so take your time, make sure you keep checking it, and it won't come out perfect no matter what you do. So you have to be ready for touch-ups, which I will do in just a minute. But I had rubbed for quite a long time. I decided not to show you the whole thing. And so there it is, and I've got a couple spots. I'm going to use my folk art metallic paint and just kind of touch them up. And then I'm going to take a combination of E6000 and hot glue to attach the little orange. And I'm just kind of checking where it's going to touch exactly. There's no point in getting lots and lots of glue for no reason. And I'm just going to press that on, let the hot glue dry. And then I think I need to add a new hanger. So I've got this cute gold and white baker's twine from Target. Just going to feed it through those little tin hanger things, tie a knot, and I'm just going to tack it down with some hot glue, and then on the back put a little piece of masking tape over it just to really make sure that it is not going anywhere. It's not heavy, but if I decide to put anything else on it, it will definitely be able to handle it. And that's it. It's so cute, so easy, so fast, and I hope you like it. Cute little trivet. It's like a little tile with some, I don't know what mosaic kind of seashell looking things, and it's framed with a wooden frame. So it's like a trivet or a stand or a coaster. And I couldn't get the coaster out, so I just taped around it, and I'm going to use my Rust-Oleum chalked linen white paint, very carefully paint around all of the frame front and back and over the back of the tile because it showed the price tag, which was $2. And it looks so nice and clean and fresh now. And then I've got these little rub-on transfers of seashells and sea-like things from the Dollar Tree. And I picked two that were really cute. So I'm going to take my little scraper and rub this one on. And I had it going over the corners. So then you just got to be careful, fold it, rub on both sides, and then you can remove it. And that was super easy. It went right on. And I didn't have any problems with this one. Just, you know, I think I saw one little dot that didn't make it, so I scraped it a little bit. And there it is. And then I'm going to put one in the opposing corner, and it's super cute as well. And I just love them. They were the right color for those little tiles, and it just worked out perfectly. And I think this will look really cute in my bedroom, which is a coastal theme. If you've been watching me for a while, you've heard that before. And lately I've been kind of updating and making some new things for my room. So this will be really cute in there. I'm going to hot glue some jute around that tile. Anyway, I'm going to get all the way around the four sides, and that's it for this project. I love it. It was easy, and I hope you like it. Use these little hoops and these little coasters that are made out of cork from IKEA and florals from the Dollar Tree. and also some nautical rope from Walmart. Now these little round white things, there were 12 of them, and they were like on a hanger, and you were going to hang scarves through the holes, if that makes sense, but I cut them apart for this. And then I'm using some white twine just to kind of make them offset. I wanted to pull the top two over, and I will eventually glue that little coaster in that middle one. What I'm going to do now is cut those pics way down to just teeny little pieces, and then I'm going to hot glue them on around each of those little, the top and the bottom hoop, if you will, and make little wreaths. So the bottom one's going to use those little yellow flowers with the leaves, and then the bottom one, well, actually one's the top, one's the bottom, doesn't matter, is just going to be greenery. And then I'm going to add some little purple, like, they're not really lavender picks, but like lavender picks. There you go. I'm going to use hot glue all the way around the back and just make sure it's nice and secure in there. Once that is in there really secure, I've got these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. They've got a lot of really cute new ones, and I happened to find them and I just stocked up. I'm going to take the word home, I'm going to separate it from the backing, and I'm just going to lay it down. Make sure you don't put your fingers on the actual letters because it will make them come off. And then I'm just going to take something a little bit sharp and pointy and carefully kind of scrape on the back there until it releases and goes on to the cork. And it really didn't take that long. Use the pointy side to pull off the backing, and look at that. Isn't that adorable? The last thing I'm going to do, rub on the letters, make sure that they're really on there nice and secure. Then I'm going to take that rope from Walmart, and I'm going to do two things. I'm going to make a bow with a really long tails, and then I'm going to attach another piece onto it, and I'm going to also wrap it around the back of one of the loops, but I want it to look like it's hanging from a bow, and you'll see that here in a second. It's so cute. It's a gift for my sister-in-law's 50th birthday party. So much fun. I hope you guys love these too. One of these like cork heat pads, like a trivet, they come 3 in a pack. And then remember those little round things? This is what it looked like before I cut the whole thing in half. So for this one, I'm going to use 6 of those little rounds, and I'm going to cut them out in 2 rows of 3. And then what I'm going to do is use a combination of E6000 and hot glue to attach them to the very base of this little cork round. And this is going to be such a cute little plant stand. So there I am putting the E6000 on and then hot glue on either side of it. And then I'm going to attach that directly to the edge of the cork round. And I'm going to do that on actually all 6 of those rounds. I'll attach each one, even though they're attached to each other in rows of 3. I still want to make sure there's a connection with all of them to the cork. There I am now attaching the last one, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some it's actually like rope I got at Walmart. It's kind of thicker than like the Dollar Tree twine, for example, and I'm going to get a piece. At first I wasn't sure how long, so I was kind of wrapping the whole thing around, but I'm going to hot glue it to where each of those intersections of the rounds are, and I'm just going to go around like 3 times and then hot glue the end. I'm going to do that with all of them. Once I figured out what size piece, it was much easier to just cut the piece and do it without having to stick the whole roll through. And I'm going to keep securing that with hot glue to make sure it's very solid. And now I'm going to do all the rest, and there they are. And then I'm going to take one piece of twine, I'm going to put it, see, all the way around on the inside and hot glue it in between each of those intersections to make sure that it's secure. I've got 4 wood beads that I had ordered on Amazon, always in my Amazon store if I say that, and I'm going to attach that with a combination of E6000 and hot glue as well, and those will be the little legs, so it's like a planter riser. And I'm going to show you in the reveal what it looks like without a plant in it and with a plant sitting in it. And I think it's so beautiful. It's like farmhouse boho. My sister-in-law is going to get this as a present too, and that's her style. So I really, really think she's going to like this. Really large planter from IKEA. It was only $1, and it's got kind of a rough feeling on the outside, so I didn't have to prime it. I'm going to use the Celery color chalk paint by Waverly. I also got these napkins at IKEA. They are 3-ply. They're gorgeous. So for that first like kind of row around the top there, I'm going to use 2 coats of the Celery color by Waverly. I love that color so much. It's beautiful. Then I'm going to separate my plies, because if it's 3-ply, you got to remove 2 pieces. I learned this trick from my friend Kathy Jo at Kathy Jo DIYs, that if you put a piece of tape on the back and you pull it apart, it will help separate the plies. Now, I've always had a pretty easy time getting the first ply off, but when there's 3 plies, that last one has always been really hard. So you see how easy that just came off? I put another piece of tape, and look at this. I was able to separate it so easily. I used to spend ridiculous amounts of time doing this, so this is an awesome hack. Thank you, Kathy Jo. Now I'm going to take this. At first I took a big piece of the napkin and started using Mod Podge to put it on, and then I started cutting it into thinner strips. It was a lot easier to manage in thinner strips, and it's a pretty busy pattern, so it's okay if they don't match up perfectly. So just lay down the Mod Podge and then carefully put down the napkin. And I do use saran wrap over it to help smooth it, because if you get your fingers wet, it starts pulling the napkin up and ripping it. So I just laid it down. There's my saran wrap, and that just really made a difference. Because it was a round surface, I didn't use my brayer. It was just easier to use my hands. And now you see I'm starting to use strips. You know, you get smarter as you do it. And it does make it a lot easier. So I'm only going to do that for those 3 rows in the middle. So the top row is the celery color. I'm going to put the napkin on the 3 rows, if you will, in the middle. And then I'm going to use a different paint color in a minute. I'll show you on the bottom. And now I'm just taking pieces. I'm going to cut little pieces just to fill in the gaps. Try to make a match. Not perfect, and honestly, once it's all done, you don't even notice. So this is just a very forgiving project, very easy, and it really does end up looking very high-end. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and make sure there's no excess hanging over the top. Then I'm going to take my moss color by Waverly, which is slightly darker than celery. I'm going to do that whole bottom row and the very bottom of this planter. And I think it's just gorgeous. And I'm going to take my 1 coat, polyurethane, and I'm going to put like 2 or 3 coats on it, because this will probably sit outside, and I want to make sure it's good. I'm also using nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. It was a 3-strand cord. I separated the 3 strands from part of it and used single strands. And then up at the top there, I used 2 strands together, and then I put single on either side. I really like the pattern that it created. So 3 below the Mod Podge, 3 above, the double, and then a single on either side at the top. I love this one. It's gorgeous. This is also a gift for my sister. It's just a really nice kind of neutral cream color. It's got some nice fringed ends. It's 100% cotton, by the way. And then I've also used my sublimation printer, and I designed in Canva. It says Gardener's Garden. That's their last name. And then I'm going to take a rotary cutter and all of my quilting mat and tools, and I'm just going to cut it into pieces because I want to make kind of a rectangular pillow. I'm going to press it with my Cricut Easy Press because it's kind of folded up, so I was trying to straighten it out as much as possible. Now I'm going to put the fringe on the inside, because when it's turned right side out, that needs to be on the outside. And I'm using these little clamp clips, whatever, from the Dollar Tree to hold it down. I'm going to use a combination of Beacon Fabric Tack Glue and hot glue. I gotta tell you, between the 2 of these, it's solid. I mean, I cannot believe how well this is put together. I wasn't sure how this is gonna work. I didn't feel like getting my sewing machine out, and this is too thick to run through a machine unless I had a special foot for it. So I just literally went crazy with the Beacon Fabric Tack Glue and the hot glue, and it just really, really worked. And then I clamped it shut to give it time to dry. And once I had it the way I wanted, it left a little spot open. I reached in and I turned it right side out. There it is. And then I'm going to put my mat underneath it for the heat press. I'm going to take some parchment paper, and then I had mirrored my design so it would go on right. And then I put some parchment paper over it so it won't ruin the fabric. And then I just looked up, the instructions to see how long it needed to sit under the heat press. And look at this. It is now sublimated into the pillow. And then I've got some extra pillow stuffing left over from an old pillow. I always save the stuffing. And I'm just going to put as much in there as I can. And then I'm going to turn the edges in so that creates a nice clean seam. And again, using the Beacon Fabric Tack Glue and the hot glue and those clips, I'm going to just do little pieces at a time so that I can make sure that I get it nice and solid and closed up. And I did part way, and then I filled it some more because I really wanted this pillow to be nice and stuffed. It's going to sit on a cute little patio couch, and they have burgundy in different colors, so this is a perfect neutral color to go with whatever they do. So now I have glued it together and I'm removing my clamps, and look how good this came out. It's solid, you guys, and it's a nice thick fabric because it's really a rug. So don't hesitate to use things like rugs and placemats and all different things to make pillows. They do such a great job. I loved how it turned out. Planter sitting in my stash with the jute twine wrapped around the top. I think I got it at either Dollar Tree or Walmart, but I've had it sitting there forever. So I'm just going to clean it off with some rubbing alcohol. The inspired piece used stencils, and I have these really cool adhesive stencils also from Walmart, made by Waverly, and I love them because you don't get as much bleed through, and that's my issue with stenciling. So I just took a little piece of a foam brush, and I'm using my White Kills primer paint for this, and I'm doing one stripe at a time, but I'm doing them all at different levels, like the inspiration piece. And then I'm drawing it with my heat tool in between so that I don't have any issues with moving paint around where I don't want it. So I'm going to do this all the way around the little planter, and I just think it's really cute. I mean, it could be farmhouse or boho depending on how you style it and where you put it in your home too, what's around it. Kind of has the ability to take on whatever. And I'm using my little, I guess it's like a scoring tool from Dollar Tree to rub off any little spots of paint that got where it shouldn't. Another thing I like about this is you could change out the florals for whatever season you're decorating for. And now I decided I need to put some flowers in it. So I got some beautiful pink roses and baby's breath from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just kind of figuring it out. And I'm going to use some styrofoam from a packing box and stick it in there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make the arrangement, add some other greenery just to give it a little more of an interesting look. And that's it. You guys, this one was so easy. I love it. And it's going to go so well in my home. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you ready for more inspiration? I've got another video here I think you will really like. Click on it. I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye.